There are moments in life that break you completely, not because of what happened, but because of who made it happen. And for me, that moment came on a Tuesday afternoon in front of 30 people who watched in silence. While she laughed, my name is Claire. And for 3 years, I believed that Amanda was my best friend. We met at work, both junior designers at a mid-sized marketing firm. We ate lunch together every day. We shared secrets. We cried over the same heartbreaks. I trusted her the way you only trust someone you believe was sent into your life for a reason. I was wrong, but I didn't know that yet. Back then, I was the quiet one in the office, the girl who stayed late, never complained, always delivered. I wasn't loud or glamorous. I didn't walk into rooms and command attention. I just worked hard and believed, truly believed. That was enough. Amanda was different. She was charming, beautiful, and magnetic. Everyone gravitated toward her, and somehow, she had chosen me as her person, her confidant, her closest friend. Or so I thought. It started the day I got promoted. Not a huge promotion, just a team lead position. But for me, it meant everything. Years of late nights, early mornings, skipped vacations. It was proof that I mattered, that the silence and the struggle had been worth something. I remember walking into the conference room that morning with a smile I couldn't hide. My manager, Daniel, made the announcement in front of the whole team. I caught Amanda's eyes across the table. She smiled back, but there was something behind that smile I didn't recognize. Something cold. Something I wasn't ready to name. After the meeting, the team gathered around me, handshakes, congratulations. It felt like sunshine after a long, hard winter. And then Amanda walked over. I expected a hug. I expected the warmth I always gave her. Instead, she tilted her head slightly, glanced around the room to make sure she had an audience, and said, "Honestly, I'm surprised. I always thought leadership roles required a little more confidence." The room went quiet. She laughed. Light, casual, like she'd said something playful. Like it was a joke. Like I was the joke. No one stopped her. No one said a word. Some people looked away. Others smiled nervously, following her lead, and I stood there, completely shattered, with my promotion still warm in my hands. Asterisk, that should have been the moment I walked away. But instead, I made excuses. I told myself she was jealous, that it would pass. That 3 years of friendship meant more than one cruel comment in front of a crowd. I was still protecting her. Even as she was dismantling me, over the next few weeks, I noticed things I had chosen to ignore before. The way she would subtly undermine my ideas in meetings, framing my suggestions as her improvements. The way she would whisper to coworkers just loud enough for me to hear her laughing. The way she once forwarded a private email I sent her, something deeply personal about my insecurities, to people in the office. As a joke, she never admitted it. She never apologized. And when I finally confronted her, quietly, after hours, she looked at me with that same cold smile and said, "Claire, you're too sensitive. That's exactly why people don't take you seriously." I went home that night and cried until I had nothing left. But somewhere in that empty, exhausted silence, something shifted inside me. I stopped crying. I sat up, and for the first time, I stopped asking why she was doing this and started asking what I was going to do about it. I began documenting everything. Quietly, professionally. Screenshots, emails, dates and times. Not out of anger, but out of clarity. Because I finally understood that what Amanda had been doing wasn't jealousy. It was a pattern. A calculated, deliberate attempt to make me feel small so she could feel bigger. I also discovered something. She didn't know I knew. Amanda had been taking credit for a major campaign I had built from the ground up. A campaign that had just won the firm a new multi-million-dollar client. Her name was on the final presentation. Mine was nowhere. I didn't explode. I didn't confront her in the hallway. I waited. Asterisk, the company holiday dinner changed everything. It was a formal event, management, clients, partners. Amanda arrived looking radiant, holding the arm of her husband, Marcus. I had met him once before, quiet, composed, deeply respectful. A decorated Navy SEAL who had served multiple tours overseas. A man who had seen real strength and recognized it without needing to announce it. The evening began beautifully. And then, during the award segment, our director stood up to honor the team behind the campaign. The campaign. He called my name. He spoke about my late nights, my strategy, my vision. He showed slides. He had done his research because I had quietly shared the documentation with HR and leadership 2 weeks earlier. Professionally, without drama, without revenge as the goal. Amanda's face drained of color. The applause filled the room. I stood, thanked my team, and sat back down with the kind of calm that only comes when truth finally speaks for itself. But the moment I remember most came after dinner. Amanda approached me near the exit, her expression a mixture of embarrassment and something that almost looked like aggression. She started to speak, voice low and sharp. And then Marcus stepped beside her. He looked at her gently but firmly and said, "Amanda, don't." Just 2 words. But they carried the weight of a man who understood integrity at a level most people never reach. He turned to me, extended his hand, and said, "I've heard about the work you've done. It speaks for itself." "Congratulations, Claire." Amanda said nothing, and that silence was the only apology I ever needed. She resigned from the company 3 weeks later. I don't know where she went. I don't spend time thinking about it, because here is what I learned. The lesson that lives in my chest now like a quiet flame. The people who laugh at you in your shining moments are the ones who are drowning in their own darkness. You don't have to fight them. You don't have to expose them loudly. You just have to keep building quietly, steadily, with integrity until the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Revenge isn't always fire and fury. Sometimes it's simply becoming so undeniable that silence becomes their punishment. I am Claire, and I am still here, still building, still shining. And nobody will ever make me apologize for that again.